Welcome back. We're going to look at two markets in MMR. Mumbai, an expensive market. Thane, which is a very affordable market. And staying with affordable housing. Well, it's been high on the government's agenda. Not much has happened though. Now, with the new land bill becoming an act very soon and land prices expected to skyrocket, this initiative of the government is expected to take a big hit. The Housing Ministry has sought relaxation from provisions of the land bill and wants states to set aside land for low-cost housing to salvage the situation. Navin Raheja tells us if these measures will be enough to give a boost to affordable housing and ensure a roof for the millions waiting to buy a home in this country.
The new land acquisition bill will become the law of the land by next year. Politically, a great achievement. But the stringent provisions of the bill could spell doom for these people who are still waiting for a roof over their heads. The bill talks of steep compensation and resettlement and rehabilitation, which is expected to push land prices northwards. And its likely impact on affordable housing has the Housing Ministry worried.
At least 15 to 20% land should be reserved for the affordable and for the houses for the poor people. And if government, they have to do this. Yeah. That's why I'm issuing one letter again to the government. Though it is a state subject, but we are concerned, and that's why we are bringing the real estate bill also. But they should reserve the land for that, and that should be freehold.
Housing Minister Girija Vyas has written a letter to Union Government seeking easier land acquisition norms for the affordable housing segment. She also wants state governments to set aside land for low-cost housing. The Housing Ministry is also looking at possibilities of coming up with more interest subvention schemes or compensations and subsidies to make land available at cheaper rates for low-cost housing.
Affordable housing should not, land component should not be procured at double the price or 4 times the price and with long-term, rehabilitation benefits, and those things should not be there. Because if we don't do that, then it means that the common man who is not able to buy a house in India as on date, that means he will never be able to buy a house in India. So the purpose of writing this letter is for the larger interest of the Indians and common man. And if they feel and there is any provision appropriate while framing rules and to incorporate or correct or make certain provisions, and exemptions, provided that if this is not for this purpose.
Despite best efforts of the government, there has been very slow progress in the affordable housing space. According to official figures, India faces a shortage of around 18.78 million homes, of which 10.55 million homes are required for the economically weaker section and another 7.41 million for the lower income group. Some of the steps taken so far by the government to boost affordable housing include easing of norms under Rajiv Awas Yojana and affordable housing in partnership schemes, increasing financial SOPs for the developer and the home buyer. The National Housing Bank signed an agreement with World Bank for an assistance of $100 million to help low-income households purchase, build or upgrade their dwellings. Not to forget policy initiatives taken by states like Haryana, Rajasthan and Punjab among others to boost low-cost housing. But the housing shortage numbers indicates that the government has to do more.
It's a good thought because it can encourage lower income housing, but to implement this will not be easy. Bigger factor is financing. What happens is the interest rates in India are very high. So if you really go into low-end housing, a lot of the people can, first of all, the interest rates is high, B, it's difficult for them to pay that 20% or 25% down payment they have to make. So I think one of the biggest things the government can do is to really reduce interest rates for the poor people who could, and then, encourage private participation to make smaller units at a lower cost.
Experts say things like encouraging innovative low-cost technologies and giving infrastructure status to affordable housing could also give the necessary boost to the segment. In New Delhi, Navin Raheja NDTV.
Well, anything that the government is trying to do, the housing ministry, we're just keeping our fingers crossed that it does work, because how desperately we need affordable housing. In fact, 98% of the shortage in the country is in that affordable housing segment. All right.